Hello, I am Amanda Knowlton with Gamers with Jobs, and today we'll be taking a quick look at Quadrilateral Cowboy from Blendo Games. It's hard to talk about a game like this without spoiling things, so consider yourself warned. So this is a game about hacking, and they convey that in a few ways. You get devices like the one I just used on the door there to open it. More devices later on that will kind of help you do what you need to do. You interact with the world by using the arrow keys to move around, and then you've got your mouse button to fulfill some other functions like picking up, throwing, and they give you all of those sort of prompts on the screen when you pick something up so you know what to do. You can also jump, run, climb as a few of the basic personal commands that you have. So this train scenario is a way to kind of show you those basic movement elements as well as sort of the functions that you will later be putting into command prompts for more complicated maneuvers later on. So each portion or each section of this game is broken down into different missions or goals or tasks. So for this one, it's to retrieve this red case here, and it's being transported under high security on a moving train. So pretty early on, they make it clear that this is a very heist-oriented game. Now, there's often multiple ways to get to things in the game. I did it the hacky way, I guess, but you can also do it the brute force way like I'm trying to do here and just smash and grab. So this desktop you see here is one you're going to see often throughout the game, and we'll get back to that later. What I want you to see is sort of your player console. To the right you can see my column of friends who are all playing. You've got their stats that you can compare and try to beat as far as each mission goes. You've got your different jobs that you can select to the right. I went through that menu a little quick there, but you can start new games, you can go into tourist mode, you can go into the director commentary and things like that. So what I did is I selected a mission here for us to take a look at called the Satsuma job. So what I really like about these segments is that they intend to show a passage of time. So you get these seasons, you get things moved around in different places and people doing different things, and it conveys the amount of time and effort that these women put into their heist preparations. So this little console here is basically your portal into these sort of heist tutorials or heist scenarios. Up top there, 0, 1, 2 are the different portions of each mission. Just to the left of those 4 screens is a dial you can toggle to select the different missions. I also really like the conscious decision to use early 90s, late 80s tech to convey sort of when this is set in this fantasy world. Like, it's on the same timeline as ours, but clearly somewhere else very different. So this scenario here with the scary sounding doors, not actually the Satsuma job, but I didn't want to spoil it, so I just dropped us in somewhere else. So this here is your deck. This is where you enter command prompts that you've learned in previous tutorials. As you can see here, I've already entered quite a few. On the window here is a really convenient tip on how to issue multiple commands with delays. So when I looked up at the camera there, what I was doing was looking at the name of the camera so that I knew what command to issue to what device, because the program that you're using is called telnet, and you use that to connect to various electronic devices within the scenario that you're attempting to break into. What this one does here is shut off the cameras and basically allow you to retrieve the items that are required for the mission. Now that noise, like that creepy tech noise, is a technology barrier, so no devices, no decks, or any kind of electronic products can be passed through that door. They just, if you try to go in there with it in your pocket, it leaves your body. It just hops out onto the floor. So, if you look at the keyboard here, you can see a couple of sticky notes. The white one there, and the 2 yellow ones. These sticky notes come up a lot in this game. So right now they're just quick tip, helpful reminders, but they play a more fun, interactive part, which you'll find out more as you play. I find this kind of thing really frustrating, because at no point do you actually get to get in those lockers or see what that's about. It's just there. So that little blue and black clock down in the lower left corner is a stopwatch, as well as just sort of your overall mission objective, which can be super helpful if you're trying to beat your times or beat your friends' times or keep track of weights. Woohoo! Alright, on to more inventory items. So as you can see here, I've got a whole list of items now, including those sticky notes. This one in particular is a launcher. A lot of these items you will get from the shopping expeditions, which are a treasure unto themselves, so I'm not going to spoil it. Now, these little transporters are one way, so you have to be sort of careful with your placement and strategic with your planning in order to use them. In this particular mission, you've got use of a few different devices. You've got your deck there, you've got your wonderful little Weevil, and your CCTV, which are these little clunky boxes that help you remote view what your Weevil is seeing. So you've got commands to connect to the little guy with weaver.exe. You'll notice that there are 2 screens. The top one I'm going to be connecting to Weaver, whose name is actually Nell. And then the second screen down below, there are other devices you get later on can connect to that as well. So while you've got Nell running around, you can also connect these other devices and use those too. So it gets pretty complex and pretty interesting. Now, what I've covered here are just sort of the technical aspects of the game. There's a whole other element of Quadrilateral Cowboy, and that's the story and the characters and the history you uncover as you play. I highly encourage you to pick up this game, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. That about wraps up our quick look at Quadrilateral Cowboy from Blendo Games. Closing track courtesy of Chris Remo. I am Amanda Knowlton with Gamers with Jobs. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.